Good day, everyone. I pray that everyone is having a wonderful day on today, on this Friday. Amen. I pray that you have been triumphant on Triumphant Friday. Amen. I pray that you didn't allow anything to keep you from doing so. Amen. So, as always, I have a question a lot of times. They're going to say all the time, I might have to change it up in the future, whatever God says, right? But as of right now, I have some questions on Friday. Amen. When it comes down to being triumphant. Amen. So, my question on today is, did you allow your frustrations to get the best of you today? Amen. Or did did your frustrations get the best of you? Were you able to, you know, maintain your self-control? Were you able to be patient? Amen. Were you able to trust God during those frustrations? Amen. Rather than giving in to the enemy? Amen. Were you able to do these things? Keep that self-control. Be patient. Trust God during the situations instead of letting the devil have his way. Were you allowed to do, I should say, loud, were you able, like I said before, to do that on today? Or did you allow the enemy to creep in and take your joy? Amen. Because you can't be frustrated and joyful at the same time. It's one or the other. Amen. So, did you trust in God and was joyful during those times, even though you was really truly frustrated? Even though you might have wanted to use some choice words that you shouldn't have. Amen. That's that. I'm in that too. Amen. Did you allow anything to get you off track? Amen. Or did you think about the fact that, maybe you should think about that serenity prayer? Amen. And the serenity prayer, I'm just going to read it because sometimes, I might mix it up a little bit. I might change up something. So I'm just going to read it. So the serenity prayer simply says, God, grant me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. I encourage you to go read the rest of that prayer, but that's the main part. Amen. So did you ask that? Did you ask God for that guidance? Amen. For that wisdom. Amen. For you to be able to accept the things that you cannot change and change the things that you can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Because in this season, we have to remember that we have the power to change things. Amen. So that even means in the times that we are frustrated, we have the ability to turn our frustration around into joy. We have the ability to turn our frustration into situations where we can say, almost in a sense, no, not today. That's not what we're going to do. What we're going to do on today is we're going to do it a little bit different. I'm going to have my moments, feel what I feel. Amen. But I'm not going to allow my frustrations to truly set in and take away my joy on today. I'm going to change the things that I can. And those things that I can't, I'm just going to accept them and I'm going to move forward. I'm just going to move on because my trust lies in God. Amen. We have to trust God. We have to trust God in all things. Amen. And we have to make sure that we're not quick to anger. We have to be slow to anger, just like James 1 verse 19 says. Amen. We have to not let anger lead to any type of sin, meaning, speaking those words that we shouldn't be saying. Amen. And that's in Ephesians 4 verse 26. As well as remembering that all things work for those who love the Lord, which is Romans 8 verse 28. Amen. So we have to remember that even though we're frustrated in that moment, amen, and we can't seem to figure out what we should do in that moment. First of all, we have to remember to pray and ask God for the guidance. Amen. But also we have to remember that all things work. Amen. And we have to remember that we have to go to our word. We have to go to God and seek him for what it is that he would have us to do concerning that situation. Because what happens is, as we seek him, we learn. Amen. He teaches us. He gives us that wisdom. He gives us that knowledge and that understanding concerning that situation. So that way, whenever that particular thing rears its head again, we know exactly how to handle it and how to change up things. Amen. And if it's just something that God completely has to do on his own, we understand that happens as well too. But God can, and he is truly able to turn things around. So we can, those things that we can't change, we just give it all to God. Amen. Because that's him. Here you go, God. Here you go, Father. You handle that. You handle them. Amen. Amen. I pray, as always, like I said, that y'all are blessed on today. I pray that this seed this word touches your heart and your mind and your spirit, amen, I pray that you use it whenever you need it. Tuck it away, pull it out whenever you need it, so that you can be reminded, amen, of the serenity prayer. All right, as always, love y'all. Be blessed. Don't forget to like, share, and follow Pour In Substance on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and even Pinterest. Love y'all. Be blessed.